Straight ahead on CBS19 News at 4, the Wahoos, the NCAA'S. We've got live coverage from Orlando with CBS19's Preston Willett with a preview of their clash with Furman University.
And a new exhibit is opened at UVA's Small Special Collections Library. We'll have more on the features that honor women making books. CBS19 News at 4 starts right now.
Live from the CBS19 News studio, this is CBS19 News at 4, Charlottesville News First.
Good afternoon, I'm Rick Young.
And I'm Carly Haynes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, the sun is out, but there's still a chill in the air.
Yeah, still a little windy out there. Here's AJ Willett with the first look at your forecast.
And now, your CBS19 Weather Authority forecast from the Bright Star Care Charlottesville Weather Center.
Hey, Carly and Rick, and a good Wednesday afternoon to everybody out there at home. Yeah, still below average for what we would typically be seeing this time of year. Winds still breezy. But the good news is those winds will start to die down once we get past sunset tonight. Your JES Skyline Network here. Haven't seen a cloud in the sky pretty much all day today. This is a view from Cardinal Home Center in Madison County. Temperature-wise, low to middle 50s, 53 in Charlottesville and Standardsville. Same story in Lake Monticello, 52 currently in Scottsville and Louisa, 50 degrees for Orange and Madison. Doppler radar, as expected with the clear skies, not showing any precipitation. We will remain dry through the evening and the overnight. Your weather headlines already mentioned the winds dying down overnight tonight. We'll see much calmer winds throughout the day on Thursday. That allows temperatures to climb back into the 60s. Then we'll bring back a chance of rain by the end of the week. I'll have more details on the rest of the week's forecast and what you can expect into the weekend. That's all coming up here in just a little bit.
Our top story at 4, March Madness and the Wahoos in Orlando, Florida. UVA, the number 4 seed, up against number 13 Furman University of South Carolina in the first round, and today is Media Day.
UVA was on the practice floor just a few hours ago. CBS 19 Sports' Preston Willett is there now. Preston, how's it looking?
Yeah, hey, Rick and Carly. Now, this is not Virginia's first rodeo down here in Orlando. The Cavaliers were back here in Orlando in 2017. That was a second-round exit for Virginia. They're back here now in Orlando, but not a lot of experience if you look at this roster. Even Kihei Clark, who's been on this team forever, his last tournament experience was 2021, and the only 3 players on this team that have appeared in an NCAA tournament: Kihei Clark, Reese Beekman, and Francisco Caffaro. Now, Caffaro and Beekman, their only NCAA tournament experience came back in 2021 in that first-round loss to Ohio. Of course, on the other side of that game was Ben Vanderplas, so he has some tournament experience, but you're not going to see him this tournament as he's out with that fractured right hand. Now, looking at the rest of it, it's a team light on postseason experience, considering just the national championship was 4 years ago, but since then there was no tournament due to COVID, a first-round exit in Indianapolis, and then the NIT last season.
Last year I told our guys, we didn't make the NCAA tournament, qualified for the NIT and had a great experience in it, but this year when we knew we'd be in it, just how different it felt. It's a big deal. It's always a big deal to be in this. So we're excited and know obviously the competition is excellent.
And it's good to be back in the tournament. Even the NIT was still a good experience for some of us just to get out there and play postseason, but it's definitely not the same, and it's good to be back and be able to have a shot at winning it all again.
Everybody at the start of the season has a goal, and obviously one of these goals is to make the tournament. So just be able to achieve that, means a lot to us in the program. But now we've got a new goal, is trying to win the national championship.
A couple of these guys that have not made the NCAA tournament, this will be their first appearance in the big dance, Jaden Garner and Armand Franklin, which is wild to think because those two guys combined have 9 years of experience playing college basketball. We're going to hear from both of them coming up later at 5 o'clock. For now, live in Orlando, on the road with the Who's, Preston Willett, CBS 19 Sports.
All right, thanks, Preston. Remember, we got our half-hour special preview of the Cavalier tip-off. It'll air in just a few hours at 7:30 right here on CBS 19 News.
Well, in honor of Women's History Month, UVA has dedicated a space to women making books in the Small Special Collections Library. This exhibit explores women's contributions to English and North American bookmaking from the mid-18th to 21st centuries. There's an array of features in the exhibit, like printed scrapbooks, decorative books of woven hair and pressed flowers, and works of Virginia Woolf and Phyllis Wheatley. The curators of the exhibit say they hope to show reimagined objects that remind people of books while celebrating the journey it took for women to publish them.
I think the big takeaway is how writing is more complicated than we imagine. So we really approach this by what does it mean to write a book? Well, you can do a lot of different things, and the poster shows it: binding, recycling, altering, designing, editing, that these are women making books and being writers in ways that we wouldn't necessarily always think of as writing.
The exhibit is now open. It'll be open until June 10th, when UVA will be hosting the British Women's Writers Conference to celebrate all female writers.
Well, Black Youth Experience in Charlottesville, that's the first topic for Charlottesville High School's Elevate meeting, designed to give students a voice. CHS Principal Rashad Pitt says gun violence in the community this year has affected his students' mental health, and this monthly program is meant to help out. He says it's all about being present and supportive of his students while they voice their concerns. CHS senior Jason Johnson says his goal for this Elevate session is, again, to help Black youth succeed.
Some type of system in which we can get our Black youth more tutoring programs and more programs to build bonds within each other, so that way we're not having as many drama and so much negativity in our community, but more getting ready for that upper level in our education.
Now, he says when he comes to visit next year, he hopes to see more Black students in honors and AP classes. Well, multiple sheriff's deputies from Henrico, Virginia, arraigned today as they face charges of second-degree murder in connection to the in-custody death of an inmate earlier this month.
The incident is being described by local officials as a, quote, horrible miscarriage of justice, end quote. John Lawrence reports.
These 7 deputies with the Henrico County Sheriff's Office were arrested and charged with second-degree murder Tuesday morning. They're accused of being responsible for the death of Irvo Otinio on March 6th. 3 days earlier, on Friday the 3rd, Henrico police responded to a burglary call and placed the 28-year-old Otinio under an emergency custody order. Officers say they took Otinio to a local hospital for further evaluation and later arrested him. The deputies told investigators after he allegedly became physically combative. On March 6th, Henrico County Sheriff's deputies brought Otinio to Central State Hospital to admit him as a patient. A few hours after arrival, state police called for a death investigation. Investigators were told Otinio became combative and had to be restrained and eventually died during the process. Henrico County Sheriff Alyssa Gregory issued a statement that called Otinio's death a tragedy and said that her department is cooperating fully with the investigation of the Virginia State Police. The deputies are all being held without bond and are expected to appear in front of a grand jury on March 21st. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Otinio's cause of death has yet to be released. A lawyer representing his family says the public will be, quote, deeply disturbed when the facts of this case are fully made known, end quote.
Well, the Virginia Department of Corrections is expanding its Medication Assisted Treatment Program, also known as MAT, to help more inmates and probationers struggling with medications for opioid use disorder. The expansion now allows buprenorphine continuations for both men and women entering DOC with prescriptions for the treatment of opioid use. Buprenorphine is a prescription medication approved by the FDA to treat opioid use disorder.
A wanted man in Charlottesville has been arrested in Albemarle County. According to the Albemarle County Police, Torius Price was arrested without incident at a home along Heather Court. Price was wanted on gun charges. He's now in the custody of Charlottesville Police. We reached out to Charlottesville Police to learn more about the investigation. We'll, of course, keep you posted on any new information we receive from them. Coming up on CBS 19 News at 4, the Federal Aviation Administration hosting a safety summit today. This after several near collisions of jetliners at U.S. airports. I'll tell you what the FAA has to say about that issue.
And U.S. officials say the downing of one of its drones by a Russian fighter jet in the Black Sea will not deter future missions. We have details on the incident as the Pentagon attempts to recover the wreckage. Plus, Ohio's Attorney General announced the state is suing Norfolk Southern for damages from last month's toxic train derailment. What Attorney General Dave Yost thinks about the case.
Low pressure system still lingering off the coast of New England. That's really no longer a concern for us. Our next rain chances developing in the southwest. I'll tell you when we'll see rain back in the forecast right after this.